I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for Life in UK test part 104. Ireland in the 19th century, while doing medial plane training and participating in the medial plane training, etc. Conditions in Ireland were not as good as in the rest of the UK. I mean the Industrial Revolution and the improvement of the living conditions. Conditions in Ireland were not as good as in the rest of the UK. 2/3 of the population still depended on farming to make their living, often on very small plots of land. So before the 18th century, what was the expression? The greatest employee was farming. So most people were working in farming. After the Industrial Revolution, most people were working in factories and manufacturing factories. In Ireland, 2/3 of the population were still working on farms, and that is important for the next part. And they had often only very small plots of land. Many depended on potatoes as a large part of their diet. That means they were mostly eating potatoes, or that one very important part of their nutrition, of what they ate, were potatoes. In the middle of the century, the potato crop failed and Ireland suffered a famine. There were 3-4 years in a row the potatoes did not grow properly. There were diseases. I think there was an animal, a small animal which eats them. I don't know the name. So the potatoes harvested failed. The potato crop failed. So we could not get potatoes for some reason, for a couple of years in a row, for 3-4 years in a row. In the middle of 1847, 1855 was I think the first year, 1847, 1849, until 1851. So for a couple of years, the potatoes did not grow properly in Ireland. And that was through a disease or something. I think it was a little animal which ate them. 1 million people died from disease and starving. So 1 million people of Ireland died because they were dependent on, with multiple causes in a row basically. They were mostly farmers, and the land also did not have that much colonization done, and it was part of the United Kingdom, and it had not so much trading with other countries, and it was dependent to 2/3 of the population were farmers, and they were mostly making potatoes, or potatoes were the most important part of the diet. And when the potatoes did not grow for 4 or 5 years in a row, and that led to many diseases, a famine, so the people had very little or nothing to eat, and starvation. Many people died because they could not eat. 1 million. Another 1.5 million left Ireland. Some emigrated to the United States and others came to England. So 1 million people died through the famine, and 1.5 million left Ireland to the United States and also to England. And that is the beginning of we have to Ireland here. Now we're starting with medial plane training. We're having the legs standing wide apart. We're breathing in and going down. And breathe out. Breathe again. And out. Again in. And out. Again in. Out. Now cross the legs. And out. Now have a good standing leg. Bring the other leg up into a right angle with a flexed foot, with even aligned hips and the top leg. And press with the hand against the top of the knee, foot, and have a little bend in the elbow. Even aligned hips, tall up with the back, a little bend in the elbow, and right angle with the leg, flexed foot, and put the hand. Even aligned hips, tall up with the back, a little bend in the elbow, a little longer, put effort into it. And switching over to the other side, the leg up, right angle with the leg, flex foot, even aligned hips, tall up with the back, and pressing from the top against the knee with effort and with a little bend in the elbow. Even aligned hips, tall up with the back, a little bend in the elbow. And a little longer with effort. Even light hips, all over the back. And that was that exercise. Now next exercise, we bring the leg again up, right angle with the leg, flex foot, even light hips, all over the back. Now we're pressing from the inside. Little bend in the elbow. Even light hips, tall with the back. Right angle with the leg, flexed foot, little bend in the elbow. And a little longer with effort. Even line hips, tall with the back. Right angle with the leg, flexed foot. And we're switching over to the other side. The leg up, right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even line hips, tall with the back. Pressing against the knee. With a little bend in the elbow. Even line hips, tall with the back. Little bend in the elbow. Right angle with the leg, flexed foot. And then the rest exercise. And one more, and we're doing more to Ireland than the last exercise. The first leg again up, right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even line hips, tall with the back. Now when he presses up into the hand, to the side, into the other. When he presses up into the side, up into the side. Even light hips, tall up with the back. Right angle with the leg, flexed foot. And when he presses up to the side, up into the side. And longer. And now to the other side. The leg comes up, right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even light hips, tall up with the back. When he presses up into the side, up into the side. Even line hips, tall up with the back. When he presses up to the side, up to the side. A few more. And now back to Ireland during the 19th century. 1 million people died through the potato famine, and 1.5 million left the country to the United States and Ireland. By 1861, there were large populations of Irish people in cities such as Liverpool, London, Manchester and Glasgow. So we know other towns of the United Kingdom. Liverpool, Manchester and Glasgow. So there were large populations of Irish people in cities such as Liverpool, London, Manchester and Glasgow. The Irish nationalist movement had grown strongly through the 19th century. We have no really explanation, I guess, for it. Some, such as the Fenians, favoured complete independence. Others, such as Charles Stuart Parnell, advocated Home Rule, in which Ireland would remain in the UK but have its own parliament. So here's something again by Charles Stuart. They are saying there's something maybe oversimplified or something. So the Irish nationalist movement grew through the 19th century. And we have a little explanation if we look what is meant in the other sentences. Some people, for example, the Fenians, they wanted complete independence from the UK. Other people like Charles Stuart Parnell wanted Home Rule, which would mean that they are still part of the United Kingdom, but they were governing themselves, but have its own parliament. So these two things, I guess, are the important ones, the main things. There was a great potato famine in the middle of the 19th century, and 1 million people died, and 1.5 million left Ireland. And the second thing is that the nationalist movement grew stronger. Some people were supporting the Fenians. They wanted complete independence, and some people were supporting a move. Some people like Charles Stuart Parnell supported still being in the UK, but having their own and having their own parliament. Now the asterisk is after Charles Stewart, before the Parnell.
Where? After Charles Stewart, before the Parnell.
Now is the name Charles Stewart and Parnell is the other party like Fenians? Maybe we're going to say it in one through as waited it in a sentence, as long as no one presses on it. No one will find out what we have but not understood. That's of course not a permanent option. We will come back to that maybe. The last exercise. We're having a good standing leg. We're bringing the other leg into the air, the heavy swing low. We're having a right angle with the leg, a flexed foot, even like this, we're taller with the back. Now we're pressing against the outside of the leg. With a little bend in the elbow. And now we are slowly opening up the leg. And we're bringing it slowly again in, we're pressing the whole time. And that was the first one of 4. And the second one. We're slowly opening, we're pressing the whole time, trying to have even aligned hips and tall and straight back, little bend in the elbow, just slowly closing again. And now for a third time. We're closing again. And for final. And down. I don't know, feel like. When it comes up, right angle with the leg, flex foot, even line hips, taller with the back. Pressing against the outside of the knee with a little bend in the elbow. And we're opening slowly. And we're closing again slowly. And the second time. Try to have even aligned hips, be taller with the back, little bend in the elbow. And we're closing again, slowly. And with effort into it, keep pressing. And a third time. And now for the fourth and final time. And down. Now with stretching, we're taking the leg, the ankle, bringing it up. And bringing the leg in front, pointing the foot. And now the other leg, taking it at the ankle. And bringing it in front. Pointing the foot. And now the closing exercise. We're doing it. And out. Again in. And out. Again in. Out. Breathe in. And out. So Ireland during the 19th century, in the middle of the 19th century, 1850s, there were multiple years where the potatoes did not grow and there was no harvest. Most people were farmers in Ireland, and 1 million people starved and died through famine. 1.5 million left Ireland to the United States and also to England. Liverpool, Glasgow, Manchester and London. Many people of the Irish went, and the nationalist movements grew stronger. Some people supported the Fenians. We'll be looking next part. Bethanians, and some people like Charles Stewart Parnell supported to be prolonged, supported to be still part of the United Kingdom, but having our own parliament in Ireland. I thank you very much. Until the next time, we will look forward to the names. I thank you very much. Until the next time.